And off we go from Las Vegas. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Off of play action. Here's Smith. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the latest in a long line of NFL QBs from USC.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw, Williams. That'll be swung out wide here for Henderson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
To throw once more, here's Williams. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 more there and another first down.
Well, that's one way and a good way to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
Here's Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Adunze. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. They run the toss with Henderson. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
They'll go play action here with Williams. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Looking to throw is Williams. A pass complete to Odunze. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 17-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They'll fake the give. Now Williams. That's taken in by Henderson. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when we decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Well, that's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
They'll try the air now with Smith. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now Smith. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
3rd and 3. Here's a give up the middle. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. A carry by Henderson to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Again, it's Henderson. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Throwing is Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
From the gun, here's Williams. Open man is Duvernay. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's Henderson. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago. And if his coaches are correct, we're going to see a lot more runs like that from this young rookie going forward.
And you know, slapping each other on the back up in the booths right now? The scouting department, because they really recommended this guy highly, and he's justifying their faith in him.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 36. To the right side, this is Henderson. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Henderson running straight ahead. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Now he breaks free in the middle of the field. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 17-yard line. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Devin Duvernay from 17 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. That time a 9-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now Geno. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Geno now to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They'll fake it. Now Smith. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
They were maybe hoping for a little bit of a back shoulder fade there, and that's a play that's been in vogue the last few years in all aspects of football. But they couldn't get the hook up there.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He had the touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll search for another score as they begin here with a 1st and 10. And there's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to spring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
They run once more with Henderson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
That's 2 really good stops in a row. Back-to-back tackles for losses. I mean, let's face it, they are locked into what they're doing offensively, and now they've earned the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, haven't they?
Yeah, and offensively they're going to have to do something else because the run game, at least on this drive, isn't working. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. To throw is Smith. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight, planted their feet, and forced the incompletion on 1st down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Play action. Now Williams. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. To the air, Williams. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a 1st down.
Up the middle, here's Henderson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Caleb Williams, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bears are able to widen their advantage.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Santos now to add the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Raiders now set to get the football back. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Throwing now is Geno. And that one too wide and incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Play action. It's Smith. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. Smith. And this will be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
This is caught. And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from a yard out, and the Raiders get a bit closer.
Well, this had not been the greatest of first halves to this point. They've been pretty well dominated in all phases of the game, so this was an important drive just to show they can move the football and finish. And now they're on the board here on the touchdown run.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And it's 17-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw, Williams. That's taken in by Duvernay. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
This is Henderson. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 34. To throw, it's Williams. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Going quickly out wide to Moore. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions, even when you're taking some hits. Sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
The tackle made by Landon Roberts.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Here's a 2nd and 8. On play action, here's Williams. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a 1st down.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Here's Williams. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Looking to throw is Williams. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Rome Odunze from 10 yards out. And the Bears are able to extend their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Santos with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And now here come the Raiders. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
That's to Bowers once again. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. From the 50, it's Smith. That's caught by Myers. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 35. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Throwing again is Smith. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Now Smith. Incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The visitors' offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Throwing is Williams. Throw left side complete. That's more. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up second down. They'll fake the give. Now Williams. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Open man is Duvernay. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
From the gun, a give to Henderson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. The short throw there, that's to Smythe, the tight end. Just a gain of a couple there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
2nd down and 8. Operating from the gun, Williams. He'll look middle here and get it to Odunze. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 34-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. To the air once more, Williams. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. Working out of the gun, Williams. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Bears are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, if this defense has any hopes of getting back into this game, they've got to start right here and keep these guys out of the end zone. That's a good step 1 on that play.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. Again, it's Henderson. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bears take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it. Pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So that one a 13-play drive in total, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be second down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. A shotgun snap for Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Play action. It's Smith. They'll roll him out right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Smith now to throw. That's caught by Tucker. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
In motion is Phillips. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, They go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Geno. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the right hash, and call it an even 50 yards. Carlson able to put this one through, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
To the air, Williams. And again, back to Komet. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now a handoff, Henderson. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
2nd and 9 from the 44. To throw, Williams. And that's going to be incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw, it's Williams. That is caught, and he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. On the handoff, Henderson. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. Off the bootleg, it's Williams. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, and now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
Santos with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Throwing now is Geno. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football. They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Geno down to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Phillips. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a 2nd and 6. Smith throwing again. Eluding the pressure right. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there. Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. That's caught by Tucker. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected, but sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to, so sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? To throw is Smith. Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Tyreek Stevenson picks it off. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
The Chicago offense set to get started. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A give for Henderson running to the right. Taken down at the 30.
But they certainly got dented with that 1st down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Henderson. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 73 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, sure looked pretty coming off of his hand, but sometimes you might have to take a little bit off of it. That one looked a little too hot to handle.
Yeah, but off the tip, hey, they still got the catch, right?
It's amazing, isn't it? Even when it goes wrong, it turns out right.
They run with Henderson, and he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
Throw right side taken in by Adunze. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here's Smith. He finds his man, complete. That's Phillips. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They run a draw here on second down. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Back to throw, Smith. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
From the gun on third down, Smith. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them. Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now it's Smith. Flushed out right. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. They'll run with Henderson here to begin the drive. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
2nd and 5. On the carry is Henderson. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. This is 3rd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Open man is Tucker. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Now Smith. Able to find the open man. That's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Raiders are going to get a new set of downs. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Smith. He throws it on the move but can't connect as that falls incomplete. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Smith. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is down to 24. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was all capped off by Jacoby Myers on the touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And able to get this out to the 25. The Bears offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.